you think of the death penalty, what do you think of? Do you think of all the different types of execution methods like hanging or lethal injection or the electric chair? A lot of people think that the death penalty deters crime and keeps criminals from thinking about doing any of the crimes, but in actuality, a lot of the criminals that do their crimes do it without thinking of the consequences. They only think of the now, mostly, and they don't ever really think that they're going to get caught. And I think the death penalty should be banned because it can actually lead to a reduced crime rate, and I think we need to start a petition to end it. My name is Felipe Rodriguez, and I'm going to talk to you why the death penalty should be banned. So the death penalty should be banned because you can't fix the problem. 1 in every 25 people are supposedly innocent when they're sentenced to death. And one example would be, this is a long time ago, back maybe in the 1930s, when a 14-year-old boy was presumably forced to confess after he was charged with the murder of two 12-year-old girls, and he was sentenced to the electric chair, and he was at the time the youngest person ever sentenced. But then again, he was 14, so he wasn't in the right state of mind, he was scared, and he was likely forced to confess because of it. And it's much more expensive to sentence someone to death and put them on death row than to just put them in a life sentence. It costs around $2.5 million for every person in death row, but about $1.8 million for every person just in a life sentence. After the person is executed, the people or the families of the people, they might feel grief over their deaths, even if they did something that they know is terrible, like murder. They might not think that it's fair, or if they were innocent, they might start hating the justice system and want to start a change because of it. And the death row really, it just ends what the person is doing, but it doesn't really help them. It doesn't help other people learn from what the person is doing. If a person does a similar crime and they get a different punishment, it doesn't really change what they're going to do. The point of prison is really to have the person change mentally and see what they did is wrong. People with life sentences of 10 or 20 years see what they did, they reflect on it, and they know that they shouldn't do something around that level again. So I think we should start a petition, especially here in Arizona, where it's still allowed. 19 of the other states have already started banning, or have already banned the death penalty. 4 states have temporarily banned it because of their governor. And with this, if you ban the death penalty, life sentence is really what a lot of criminals are going to have to look forward to. And I think that sometimes that can be a fate worse than death. So I advise to start spreading the word so we can know how bad the death penalty really is. Start a petition or sign a petition if one is already out there. And in the end, it's not really an effective way to end crime, and by starting it here in our own state, we could maybe convince other states to end it.